Hi there. Today I want to share a touching story with you, and we will use it for shadowing practice. Shadowing means you listen first and then repeat my words with confidence. This method trains your ears, your voice, and your rhythm in English. I will read the story slowly with clear pauses after each line. You can follow my voice, repeat every sentence, and feel your progress. By the end of this lesson, your pronunciation and fluency will feel stronger. If you practice this every day, you will sound more natural and relaxed. You will start thinking in English without fear or hesitation. So take a calm breath and let your mind focus on the story. Get ready to repeat after me. Let's begin our story. Built a better life.
My name is Elena, and today starts like a normal work day for me. I open the Uber app because I need extra money for my bills. I feel nervous about money, but I try to stay calm and focused. A new ride appears on my screen, and I accept it right away. The address looks simple, so I think this will be a short trip today. When I arrive, I see an old woman waiting quietly near her small house. She looks tired, so I tell her I can help with her heavy bags. She thanks me with a soft voice, and something in her tone feels unusual. I place her bags in the car and try to start a friendly conversation. "Where do you want to go?" I ask with a normal work smile. She answers, "Please drive through the city. I don't have hurry today." Her answer confuses me because the city center is full of traffic now. I tell her it will take a long time, but she just nods and smiles calmly. I feel curious about her plan, but I do not want to ask too much. I start driving slowly, and she watches the streets like they are important. After a moment, she says, "Turn right here, please. I want to see something." Her voice sounds emotional, but she does not explain anything to me yet. I begin to wonder why she does not have a clear destination today. Something in my mind says this ride will not be a normal ride for me. I look at her through the mirror and she looks lost in deep thoughts. I feel a small worry because her plan still does not make sense. Then she whispers, "I just need time today. Can you stay with me?" Her question is simple, but it opens a door I did not expect. I take a slow breath and keep driving while my mind fills with questions. I do not know what will happen, but something important is starting now. What would you do if a stranger asked you for time and company? I drive slowly through the busy streets, and the old woman stays quiet. I feel unsure about this ride, but something tells me to stay patient. She looks around like each place carries a memory she wants to protect. After a few minutes, she says, "Please stop here. I want one moment." I park the car, and she watches a small street with deep attention. "I lived here many years ago," she says with a soft and warm voice. I listen carefully because her tone feels important for her today. She continues, "My children played here. They were happy in this place." I feel respect for her story, and I try not to interrupt her. After a short silence, she asks me to keep driving through the city. We move slowly again, and she gives new directions with calm words. "Turn left here," she says. "I want to see my old workplace again." I look at the tall buildings ahead and wonder about her long life. When we stop, she says, I worked here for 30 years, many memories. She smiles a little, but I can feel something heavy in her thoughts. I ask gently, "Do you miss those days?" hoping not to bother her. She answers, "Sometimes. Life goes fast and people forget many things." Her words make me think about my own days and my constant worries. We continue moving and the city noise grows louder around the car. Then she says, "Please go to the old park near the river. I need that." I feel surprised because that place is far, but I follow her request. During the long drive, she talks about her husband and their early years. She says he loved music and always tried to make simple days feel special. I listen quietly, and I feel a mix of sadness and admiration for her life. When we reach the park, she looks outside with slow and careful breaths. She says, "We came here every Sunday. It was our little world." I stay silent because I know this moment means a lot to her today. She closes her eyes for a moment and whispers, "Thank you for bringing me." I feel moved by her trust, but I also feel confused about her real plan. We return to the road, and she asks me to take another long direction. I worry about the time, but something keeps me from saying no. She suddenly says, "I don't have many days left. I want to remember." Her words hit me with force, and I feel a deep sadness inside me. I ask softly, "Are you alone now?" trying to understand her situation. She nods slowly and says, "Yes. My family left the city many years ago." I feel a strong desire to help her, but I do not know how. She adds, "I only need someone to stay with me for this ride." I hear her words, and I know this trip is more than a job now. My heart feels heavy, and I wonder what she carries inside her memories. She then says, "Please drive to one last place. I want to see my beginning." Her tone changes, and I sense something important is coming soon. I follow her direction, but I feel nervous about what we will find next. This ride is no longer simple, and I feel afraid of the truth she hides. Would you continue driving if you felt the story was getting deeper and heavier? The city gets quieter as we drive away from the busiest streets today. I feel the distance growing, and I wonder how long this ride will last. The old woman watches every turn like she is collecting pieces of her life. After a long silence, she says, "Please go straight. Do not turn yet." Her voice sounds firm, and I feel her plan is very personal and serious. I think about my bills and my busy schedule, but I keep driving quietly. She suddenly asks, "Do you have family here?" And I feel surprised. I answer, "Yes, but we do not see each other very often these days." She nods slowly and says, "Time changes people. Distance grows easily." Her words make me think about my mother and our limited conversations now. I wonder if I am also losing small moments without noticing them today. She points to a small street and says, "Turn there. I need this place." When we stop, she looks at an old building in complete silence. She says, "This was my first home with my husband. We started everything here." I feel emotional because I can hear love and loss inside her simple words. She continues, "We had dreams, but life moves in ways we cannot control. I do not know how to respond, so I give her time to breathe and think. After a few minutes, she says, 'Let's go. I want to continue our ride now.' I start the car, and she watches the road with a thoughtful expression. Then she asks me, 'Do you like your life?' And I freeze for a moment. I answer honestly, 'I am trying. Some days feel heavy, but I keep going.' She listens carefully and says, 'You are young. You still can change things.' Her confidence in me feels strange, but also warm and encouraging today. I ask her, 'Did you change something important when you were young?' She looks out the window and says, 'I changed nothing. I waited too long.' Her answer hits me deeply because it sounds full of regret and truth. We enter another long road, and the afternoon light begins to fade slowly. She whispers, 'I want to see my old school. It was my beginning.' I follow her direction, even though we are far from the city center now. As we drive, she tells me small stories about her childhood and early dreams. She says she wanted to be a teacher, but life pulled her in another direction. I listen quietly, and I feel sadness for the dreams she never followed. When we reach the school, she smiles softly, but also looks very tired. She says, "This place taught me hope. I want to feel that again today." I stay silent because I do not want to interrupt her moment of reflection. She takes a slow breath and says, "We can leave now. I am ready." I nod and start driving, but something inside me feels heavy and uncertain. This ride is changing me, and I do not know where her story will lead next. She says, "Please return to the city. I need one final stop with you." Her voice shakes a little, and I sense an important truth is coming soon. I grip the wheel gently and prepare myself for whatever she will say next. What truth do you think she wants to share with me now? We drive back toward the city, and the streets start to look familiar again. I feel tension growing inside me because her silence now feels different today. She watches the road like she is preparing for something important and final. After a long moment, she says, "Please stop near the central square." Her voice sounds tired, and I feel a strong worry about her condition now. I park the car, and she looks at the buildings with slow, careful eyes. She says, "I met my husband here. It changed my life completely." I listen closely because her words sound heavy with memory and emotion. She continues, "We promised to meet here every year on this same date." I ask softly, "Did you continue that tradition for a long time together?" She nods and says, "Yes, he came every year, even when life was difficult." Then she adds, "After he passed, I still came. I wanted to feel close." Her voice shakes, and I feel a deep sadness for her lonely years. We sit quietly, and she seems to gather strength for another truth now. She whispers, "I waited here last year, but nobody came for me today. I feel confused," and say gently, "You are not alone now. I am here." She looks at me and says, "You are kind. That is why I called today." Her words surprise me because I did not expect a reason so personal. I ask, "Why me? You do not know me or my story." She answers, "I saw you last week. You helped a man without asking." I try to remember, and then I recall helping a customer carry groceries. She says, "You were patient. You did not rush him. I noticed your heart." Her trust surprises me, and I feel pressure to understand her message. She then asks, "Can we visit my house again?" I am ready to return. I nod, even though I feel unsure about what will happen now. During the drive back, she talks less and less, and her breath slow. She finally says, "Thank you for giving me this long day. It matters." I feel emotional because this day feels more important than my work now. We arrive at her house, and I help her out of the car slowly. She stands near her door and says, "Please bring the bags inside." I lift the bags again, but they feel strangely light in my hands. I place them inside and wait for her next instruction in silence. She walks in slowly and says, "I want to show you something today." Her tone changes, and I feel nervous about what she will reveal next. She points to a small table near the entrance and says, "Look there." I see an envelope with my name written clearly on the top surface. My body freezes because I do not understand how she knew my name. She says softly, "Please open it. I prepared it before our ride today." I stand still, and a wave of fear and confusion moves through my mind. Why would she prepare something for me before even meeting me today? I look at her, and she gives a small nod like she expects my reaction. I reach for the envelope, but my hand stops before touching it. Everything feels strange, and I sense her story is about to change completely. A heavy silence fills the room, and I do not know what waits inside. Should I open the envelope, or should I ask her another question first? I hold the envelope with my name, and my hands feel tense with worry. I look at the old woman, and she waits for my decision with calm patience. I finally open the envelope, and I see a single folded letter inside. The letter begins with, "To the driver who stayed with me today." I read slowly because each sentence feels important and personal for me. She writes, "I did not call Uber for a trip. I called for company today." My breath stops for a moment because I did not expect this truth now. She continues, "I knew my time was short, and I did not want to be alone." Her honesty feels heavy, and I feel sadness for her long and quiet days. The next line surprises me deeply. "The bags are empty. I only needed help." I look at her, and she nods like she does not want to hide anything today. I ask softly, "Why did you choose me? Why not another driver?" She answers, "I saw you last week. You helped a stranger with patience." Her words feel warm, and I feel emotional because she trusted me so quickly. I continue reading the letter, and the final paragraph changes everything. She wrote, "I saved a small amount for someone kind. Please use it wisely." Inside the envelope, I find an old bill folded with care and intention. I feel shocked because I never expected money or a personal gift today. I ask her, "Why give this to me? I only drove you through the city." She says, "You listened. You stayed. You gave me something I needed today." Her eyes show calm acceptance, and I feel a mix of gratitude and fear. She adds, "I wanted one last long day with someone who understands kindness." Her words stay in my mind, and I realize this ride changed more than her day. I look around the room and see no signs of family pictures or visitors. I understand slowly that she lives in deep loneliness without support or company. She takes a seat and says, "Thank you for helping me remember my life today." Her voice sounds weak, and I worry something serious may happen soon. I stand near her, unsure of what to do or what she needs from me next. I think about my own life and how I always rush without real purpose. Her day of memories becomes a mirror for my fears about time and regret. She closes her eyes for a moment and whispers, "Please do not waste your life." Her message feels direct, simple, and full of meaning for my future choices. I want to answer her, but my mind feels full of questions and confusion. The house becomes quiet, and I wonder what she expects from me now. I take a slow breath and sit beside her, waiting for her next words. What should I say to her in this moment when everything feels uncertain? I look at her and decide to speak with simple and honest words. I say, "Your day changed me. Thank you for sharing your life with me." She smiles softly and answers, "Thank you for listening. It means a lot today." I feel calm and sad at the same time, but also very grateful. I ask her, "Do you want me to call someone for you now?" She shakes her head and says, "No, I just want to rest a little." Her answer worries me, but I respect her wish and stay for some minutes. We sit in silence, and I think about every place we visited today. Each stop was a memory, and each memory was a small message for me. After a while, she says, "You should go. You still have a long life." Her words sound like a blessing and also like a final goodbye. I stand up slowly and say, "I will not forget this day with you." She nods and repeats, "Do not waste your life. Choose what really matters." I walk to the door, holding the old bill and the letter carefully. Outside the house, the air feels different, and the street looks strangely quiet. I look at the money and think, this is not just for my bills. I decide to use part of it to visit my mother this weekend. I also decide to save a little for a course to improve my future. I feel a new kind of strength because her story opened my eyes today. In the car, I open my notes app and write simple new goals for myself. I write, call family more, work with purpose, take care of my time. I start the engine, but I stop again and take one last deep breath. I say out loud, I want a better life, and I start today. Those words feel clear and real, and they guide my heart like a promise. As I drive away, the ride with her becomes my most important lesson. Every small choice now feels different because I understand how fast years can go, I think, kindness is not a small thing. It can change 2 lives. I look at the road ahead and feel a quiet, new hope inside me. What small decision can you make today to live a more meaningful life?